It started over 160 years ago. Scandinavian immigrants, mostly Danes, founded a Lutheran church in Racine that came to be known as Emmaus. Over the years, the location changed from State Street to Mound Avenue to the corner of Summit and Yount. In the midst of constant change, we hear the words of Jesus. Love the Lord your God with all your heart and soul and mind, and love your neighbor as yourself. How do we share that God love and grace with one another and with our neighbor? And just who is our neighbor anyway? At the turn of this last century, we at Emmaus began looking at that neighbor question more seriously. We did prayer walks in the neighborhood. We observed who was living and working and going to school near our church. Things had changed. Our neighborhood didn't look like it did in the mid-50s when the church was built. How would we reach out in love to our neighbors? How would that outreach change us? We spoke with the principal of Wadowitz Elementary School. We asked her, what can we do to be an ideal neighborhood church for your school? The answer came when Principal Pat Lindbergh made the plea for committed adult mentors to serve at-risk first and second graders. The Emmaus program of Kids Hope USA was born. Relationship building began with some of our youngest neighbors, and those kids brought about change. It's been over a dozen years since that first school connection, and we haven't turned back. It hasn't always been a smooth road, and the journey has taken time. New relationships have been built to bridge differences in race, culture, language, age, and economic status. Our free summer neighborhood camp has engaged dozens of kids for 5 weeks each summer. The EASY program, Emmaus After School for Youth, draws in kids for homework help, mentoring, and creative activities 4 days each week. We've recently added a SALT program, Serving and Learning Together, for middle school kids. We've reached out to provide a nurturing place of hospitality and learning for kids who otherwise may not have such opportunities. Kids have been taught math, science, art, reading, and more. Most of all, through the relationships with staff and volunteers, they not only learn about God's love, but they experience God's unconditional love firsthand. Emmaus has become a place of feeding body, mind, and spirit for all ages. Pastor John Freddy Correa has been the pastor and spiritual director for the growing Spanish-speaking community. Pastor Mary Jans joins in bringing the good news to those of Northern European and African descent, while also serving the newer Latino immigrant community. Our Wednesday night program provides a free meal for all. While children are receiving religious education, the adults may be studying parenting, English, the Bible, or preparing for their GEDs. Committed volunteers make all of this possible. We strive to share God's love with all, regardless of the language spoken, documentation, skin color, income level, age, or sexual orientation. We connect people with needed legal, counseling, and leadership training resources. Our goal is to be shalom people and to compassionately serve the whole person and families in Christ's name. We have learned a lot, but we have so much more yet to learn about how to truly be the neighbor that Christ has called us to be. We continue to struggle with the evils of racism and the ways we abuse the environment and all creation. We face all these challenges filled with hope. We are reminded that we are stronger together than apart. We celebrate the possibilities that our Faith Works partnership brings as we worship and serve the triune God who calls us to be one.